The AFL season is near, and with the first round of the Toyota 2022 AFL season in just over 1 month's time, I will start analysing the more interesting teams, more specifically the ones who are unpredictable leading into this year's footy season. Hawthorn, the team in question, has had a wide range of predictions when it comes to their position on the AFL ladder. Many see them finishing in the bottom 4 and just as many around the edge of the top 8. As a Hawthorn supporter, I'll dig deeper into this team to figure out truly where we stand in the year 2022. Could a dynasty be forming for the mighty Fighting Hawks? I have reason to believe that this just might be the case, maybe not for next year, but for the years to come, maybe 2023 or 2024. To examine this team, we will start off by picking apart each aspect on the field. This includes the forward line, the midfield, and the back line. Let's start off with arguably our aspect that's been affected the largest during the 2021-2022 AFL draft. The midfield. The Hawks' midfield consists of Brownlow medalist Tom Mitchell and Rising Star winner Jaeger O'Meara, with 3-time grand finalists Liam Shields and Big Boy McAvoy for a ruckman. Up-and-coming stars include 21-year-old James Warple and newly appointed midfielder Connor Nash, who has seemingly found his spot in our best 22, while lots of our fans absolutely hate him. I like Connor Nash. He was average when he was playing in the back line. Obviously, we had a lot of backmen. He struggled to fit into our team, so we threw him in the midfield. Well, Sam Mitchell threw him in the midfield, and awesome. I love him. And we have some draftees who have also come to our team. These people include speedster Josh Ward, Sam Butler, and Connor McDonald. C. McDonald. Other players recently drafted to play in the midfield include Jai Newcomb and Seamus Mitchell. Recently traded Tom Phillips has slid into our side nicely, and I look forward to seeing more of him in 2022. The Hawks focusing their attention on our midfield has set us for many years to come. Our forward line are arguably our biggest question mark leading into the 2022 AFL season. Personally, I don't see much wrong with our forward line. Obviously, you got the just not very experienced, and many of these players are only starting to blossom in their careers. So many people who have been watching AFL for a long time have seen these people play when, like in 2019 and 2020, and they weren't great. But 2021 was actually a blossoming year for a few of our forwards, and a few of our other forwards have also proved that old age has done absolutely nothing to them. So a forward line consisting of Jack Gunston, who was unfortunate to miss the majority of the 2021 season due to multiple back injuries. Nonetheless, he will add depth to our forward line. A 3-tall forward system consisting of him, Lewis, and Kazitsky. Mitchell Lewis had a breakout season in 2021, and I'm excited to see what he produces in 2022. Smalls include 200-gamer Luke Bruce and schoolboy Tyler Brockman. Dylan Moore also had a breakout season in 2021, and with the assistance of Luke Bruce, will continue to develop into one of the great small forwards in modern-day football. Chad Wingard will bounce between a midfielder and a forward, and is dangerous in both positions. Young, tall Jackson Callow will continue to develop in the VFL leading to the 2022 season. He will most likely make a debut in 2022. However, it's unclear. I don't really know if he will. I mean, how was he 19 now? I mean, Kazitsky made a debut, but that was different. I think we'll have to see for the preseason match against, was it St Kilda? It's someone. We're versing someone in the preseason match. I don't know if, whatever. Yeah. Harry Morrison is also due to return from injury, so in conclusion, the forward line is looking very good for 2022, despite not gaining any forwards from the trade table nor the draft, with the exception of newly traded Max Lynch from Collingwood, who will play as a ruckman/forward in 2022. Captain prospect James Sicily is also due to make an appearance in the forward line next year because we have a lot of defenders. And speaking of defenders, we have a lot of them. Our backline. But having a lot of them isn't always a good thing. But in this case, it is. We have talent in the backline. We have a backline that's hard running, hard hitting, and we just have fierce defenders who are hard on the ball. And honestly, we're going to have a hard contested backline in 2022. Big key defenders such as Sam Frost and Carl Hardigan will take big marks alongside speedster Chankuth Jiath, who was one of the best intercept players in 2021 and who was pretty unfortunate to go out injury late in the year. We really could have used him, and I feel like if we had him, we probably we would have had a lot better back half of the year. I mean, not saying that we had a bad back half of the year. We were honestly an exceptional side, and for a first time in a long time, it's been actually good watching my own team play, because we've been awful in 2020 and most of 2021 as well. Jarman Impey and James Sicily, both returning from injury, who will make statements in this up-and-coming season. Like I said, James Sicily probably won't be playing in the backline for very long because as we've seen him play in the forward line before, and his talent impresses me. It is something that we could really use. I don't know if he'd play a key position or maybe a forward flank, or he could even slide into the midfield, but then again, we already have a lot of midfielders, so that bloke could go anywhere. I mean, he's a captain prospect, so, you know. Also, Blake Hardwick, who had a breakout 2021 season and is expected to drag on this exceptional form into next year. Will Day, Jack Scrimshaw, Denver Granger Barras, and Lockie Bramble are all seeking to cement their place in the Hawks' best 22. Now, next year, I reckon Jack Scrimshaw, he's got it. He's awesome. And it was a great pickup from the Suns. He didn't want to play there. Awesome. Will Day as well, he's just injured all the time. He's only played like 12 or 13 games. But he's just injured all the time. He was injured for all of 2019, most of 2020, and a good portion of 2021, and it's so upsetting because he's a hard-running defender, and he deserves his spot in the best 22, if you ask me. I want to put together a best 22 for Hawthorn, assuming we had 0 injuries. And that team, if we had our best 22, 0 injured, we could compete for top 8 easily. Anyways, many injured defenders in 2021, like I just mentioned, or I mentioned it earlier, it left us a bit stuck last year. We were having trouble putting defenders in certain places. I feel like Granger Barras could have been used more, but we just needed Frost and Hardigan in the team, and if we were to take one of them out, it would be disaster. But I feel like we should have used last year as a bit of an opportunity, not to tank, but to let our younger guys have a bit of a go and let them, play. Because, So, overall, how does this team work well together? And how is our newly appointed coach, Sam Mitchell, going to cope in his first season as senior coach? Many are skeptical surrounding his performance and think that Clarkson should have mentored him, which I don't necessarily agree with or disagree, because he has been coaching the VFL. He doesn't need mentoring to coach people he's already coached, because the majority of people in our team played in our reserves. Box Hill only, 2 seasons ago, 3 seasons ago. Sam Mitchell knows them. He's coached them before, because if you didn't know, he coached Box Hill. So, yeah. And also in 2021, Sam Mitchell made many changes to our side. And that just goes to show that he is going to be a good coach, because he made changes such as, like I mentioned earlier, Connor Nash's move to the midfield, was thanks to Sam Mitchell. Lockie Bramble's move into the AFL in general was thanks to Sam Mitchell, and next year he could easily be cementing his spot in our best 22 and in what could be one of the great backlines of the AFL. So guys, that'll be it for the video. I hope you enjoyed and learnt something new. I tried to mention as many players as I possibly could. Some required more attention than others, as they will be more crucial for a potential rise up the ladder next year. Leave your thoughts in the comments below. What AFL team do you want me to examine next? I'm thinking of a few. I might do Richmond next, because I feel like they'd be very interesting to look at for next year. Because, well, they're sudden flop down the ladder. I want to examine how the hell that happened. How did they go from a dynasty team to that far down that quickly? I mean, I understand, like, the Hawks did it, but, like, you know, we lost all of our players in 1 year, so that was... Richmond lost pretty much no one. Maybe it's just age or something, I don't know. So, yeah, leave your thoughts of this video in the comments below. I'll try to reply to as many of them as possible. Where do you think the Hawthorn Hawks sit in season 2022? See ya.